Never do this when arguing with them. Check timeline for your zodiac sign. Aries. Never bring up old issues when arguing with an Aries. They focus on what's happening right now and want to resolve the present problem, not revisit past mistakes. Dragging old conflicts into the discussion feels unfair and immediately puts them on the defensive. Aries believes growth comes from moving forward, not keeping score. When the past is weaponized, they feel misunderstood and trapped, as if nothing they do will ever be enough. It creates frustration instead of resolution. If you want a productive conversation, stay focused on the current issue. Be direct, honest, and present. Aries respects clarity and action far more than emotional archaeology or repeated reminders of what's already been addressed. Taurus. Never give a Taurus the silent treatment during an argument. Shutting down communication creates confusion and emotional distance, which Taurus finds deeply unsettling. They want to understand what's wrong and how you feel, but they can't do that if you withdraw or expect them to read your mind. Silence feels like punishment rather than a path toward resolution. Taurus values stability, clarity, and honest dialogue, even when conversations are uncomfortable. Being left in uncertainty only escalates their frustration. They would much rather talk things through calmly than sit with unanswered questions. If you want to rebuild trust and move forward, communicate openly instead of retreating. Consistent, honest discussion is essential for resolution with Taurus. Gemini. Never guilt-trip a Gemini during an argument. Bringing up past favors or using emotional leverage to silence their concerns only shuts them down. Gemini believes issues should be addressed individually, without manipulation or scorekeeping. When guilt is used as a weapon, they feel cornered, misunderstood, and resentful. They value open conversation and fairness, not emotional power plays. Framing yourself as the victim to avoid accountability makes them disengage instead of listen. Gemini wants a dialogue, not a battle over who has done more. Address the issue directly, allow space for mutual responsibility, and keep the discussion honest. They respond far better when they feel respected rather than emotionally pressured. Cancer. Never dismiss a Cancer's feelings by calling them over-emotional or dramatic. When you minimize their emotional response, you're essentially telling them their inner world doesn't matter. Cancer opens up carefully, and invalidation makes them retreat quickly. They aren't exaggerating for attention. They're expressing genuine emotions that feel very real to them. When you downplay their feelings, they lose trust and may stop sharing altogether. Cancer needs emotional safety during conflict, not judgment. Even if you don't fully understand their reaction, acknowledge it. Respecting their emotional expression keeps communication open. If you invalidate them, they may shut down and protect themselves by withdrawing emotionally in future arguments. Leo. Never resort to name-calling when arguing with a Leo. Even when emotions run high, they believe there are lines that should never be crossed. Insults feel deeply personal to Leo and strike at their pride and self-worth. While they may be passionate or expressive in conflict, they expect respect to remain intact. Once you attack their character instead of addressing the issue, the argument stops being productive. Leo wants to feel respected, even during disagreement. Harsh words linger long after the fight ends and can permanently damage trust. If you want to resolve things, focus on behavior, not personal attacks. Speak honestly, but with dignity. Leo responds far better to direct communication than to words meant to wound. Virgo. Never raise your voice at a Virgo during an argument. Yelling immediately registers as immaturity and disrespect to them. Virgo believes that problems can and should be discussed calmly, with logic and clarity. When voices rise, they stop listening and start emotionally withdrawing. They feel that shouting replaces reason with chaos, making resolution impossible. Virgo wants thoughtful dialogue, not emotional outbursts. Even if they are upset, they will try to remain composed and expect the same in return. Speaking calmly shows respect for their intelligence and their need for order. If you want to be heard, lower your tone and choose your words carefully. Virgo responds to reason, not volume. Libra. Never take your complaints about a Libra public. Posting about them online or venting to others feels like a major betrayal of trust. Libra values privacy and believes relationship issues should stay between the people involved. When you involve outsiders, they feel exposed, embarrassed, and disrespected. It disrupts the sense of harmony they work hard to maintain. Libra wants to resolve conflict through honest, private conversation, not public judgment. Airing grievances elsewhere makes them feel unsafe opening up to you again. If something is wrong, talk to them directly. Protecting the privacy of your relationship shows maturity and respect. For Libra, discretion during conflict is just as important as resolution itself. Scorpio. Never bring other people into an argument with a Scorpio. Involving friends or family feels like a betrayal and an attempt to gang up on them. Scorpio believes conflict should stay strictly between the people involved. Seeking outside opinions to prove them wrong only fuels their distrust. They value loyalty and privacy, especially during vulnerable moments. Once they feel exposed, they become guarded and defensive. Scorpio wants to resolve issues through direct, honest confrontation, not through third-party validation. Keep the focus on the relationship and the problem at hand. Respecting boundaries builds trust. Crossing them can permanently damage the bond and make Scorpio less willing to open up in the future. Sagittarius. Never pretend you've forgiven a Sagittarius if you're still holding on to anger. They value honesty and want everything out in the open as quickly as possible. Letting resentment simmer while acting fine only frustrates them later, especially when the issue resurfaces. Sagittarius prefers to deal with conflict head-on, resolve it, and move forward without emotional leftovers. They don't want to relive the same argument repeatedly because someone avoided being truthful the first time. If something still bothers you, say it clearly and directly. They respect transparency far more than passive behavior. Dragging things out makes them feel trapped and impatient. Address issues when they happen so both of you can release the tension and genuinely move on. Capricorn. Never insult a Capricorn's intelligence during an argument. Talking down to them, lying blatantly, or offering weak excuses feels deeply disrespectful. Capricorn is observant and sharp. They will immediately recognize dishonesty or manipulation. Treating them like they can't see through your behavior only damages trust further. They value logic, accountability, and maturity, especially during conflict. If you make a mistake, own it instead of fabricating a story. Capricorn respects honesty far more than perfection. Trying to outsmart or deceive them is pointless and offensive. Speak directly, explain your reasoning, and take responsibility where needed. When you show respect for their intelligence, Capricorn is far more willing to work toward a solution. Aquarius. Never interrupt an Aquarius when they're expressing their thoughts. They process ideas deeply, and being cut off feels dismissive and disrespectful. Aquarius values equal exchange in conversation and expects the same patience they extend to others. Talking over them or rushing their point only creates frustration and emotional distance. They don't need to shout to be heard, and neither do you. Let them finish their thoughts before responding. Aquarius appreciates thoughtful dialogue where both sides are given space to speak freely. Interruptions make them feel unheard and misunderstood. If you want a productive argument, practice active listening. When Aquarius feels respected intellectually, they're far more open to compromise and resolution. Pisces. Never walk away when a Pisces is trying to express their feelings. Opening up is difficult for them, and being ignored during that moment can shut them down completely. If you leave or dismiss them, they may decide it's safer to stay silent in the future. Pisces needs emotional presence and reassurance during conflict. Even if the conversation is uncomfortable, staying engaged shows that their feelings matter. Avoid brushing them off or minimizing what they're sharing. Listen patiently and respond with compassion. When you abandon the conversation, Pisces internalizes the hurt and withdraws. Remaining present, attentive, and gentle helps them feel safe enough to be honest again. Thank you for watching, and let me know your thoughts in comments box. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the updates.